The origin of life on Earth is one of the most fascinating and complex topics in science. It involves a combination of chemistry, biology, geology, and physics, and has been studied from multiple perspectives over the years. While no single theory has been universally accepted, several hypotheses provide insight into how life might have begun. Here's an overview of how life on Earth is thought to have started, covering key stages and theories. The formation of Earth and its early environment. About 4.6 billion years ago, the Earth formed from a swirling cloud of gas and dust left over from the formation of the Sun. This process, known as accretion, led to the formation of a molten planet that was constantly bombarded by comets and asteroids. As Earth cooled, it developed a solid crust and an atmosphere composed primarily of water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen, a far cry from today's oxygen-rich atmosphere. During this early period, known as the Hadean Eon, Earth's surface was unstable, with volcanic activity and frequent impacts from space objects. However, these harsh conditions played a crucial role in the origin of life by providing the energy and raw materials needed for the chemical reactions that would eventually lead to life. The Primordial Soup Hypothesis. One of the earliest and most well-known hypotheses about the origin of life is the Primordial Soup Hypothesis, first proposed by Alexander Oparin in the 1920s and later independently by J.B.S. Haldane. According to this idea, life began in a soup of organic molecules, possibly in the oceans or in small bodies of water on Earth's surface. These molecules, which included amino acids, sugars, lipids, and nucleotides, could have formed through chemical reactions driven by lightning, volcanic activity, or ultraviolet radiation from the sun. In 1953, the famous Miller-Urey experiment provided experimental support for the primordial soup hypothesis. Stanley Miller and Harold Urey simulated early Earth conditions by passing electric sparks, simulating lightning, through a mixture of gases thought to be present in the early atmosphere. After several days, they found that several amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, had formed, suggesting that organic molecules necessary for life could indeed be synthesized under prebiotic conditions. The RNA World Hypothesis. While the primordial soup hypothesis explains the formation of organic molecules, it does not fully address how these molecules organized into the complex structures necessary for life, such as cells. One leading theory that attempts to bridge this gap is the RNA World Hypothesis. The RNA World Hypothesis suggests that life began with the formation of RNA molecules that could both store genetic information and catalyze chemical reactions, a role that today is divided between DNA, which stores genetic information, and proteins, which catalyze reactions. RNA molecules are capable of self-replication, meaning they could have played a key role in the earliest forms of life by encoding information and facilitating the chemical reactions needed to sustain life. The discovery of ribozymes, RNA molecules with enzymatic activity, in the 1980s provided strong evidence for this hypothesis. Ribozymes demonstrate that RNA can act as both a genetic material and a catalyst, making it a plausible precursor to more complex life forms. Over time, RNA-based life forms could have given rise to DNA and protein-based life, leading to the evolution of the first cells. The role of hydrothermal vents. Another significant hypothesis suggests that life may have originated not on the Earth's surface, but deep in the oceans near hydrothermal vents. These vents, located along mid-ocean ridges, emit hot, mineral-rich water from the Earth's interior. The extreme conditions around these vents, including high temperatures and pressures, create a unique environment where chemical reactions can occur that would be impossible on the surface. Hydrothermal vents provide a steady supply of energy and nutrients, which could have fueled the formation of complex organic molecules. Some scientists believe that the first life forms may have been chemolitho-autotrophs, organisms that obtain energy by oxidizing inorganic molecules, such as hydrogen sulfide, rather than relying on sunlight for energy. The discovery of thriving ecosystems around modern hydrothermal vents, including organisms that use chemosynthesis to produce energy, supports the idea that life could have originated in similar environments. The Panspermia Hypothesis. An alternative to Earth-based origin theories is the Panspermia Hypothesis, which suggests that life, or at least the precursors to life, may have originated elsewhere in the universe and been brought to Earth by comets, asteroids, or meteorites. This hypothesis posits that microscopic life forms or organic molecules could survive the harsh conditions of space and the impact of landing on Earth. Evidence supporting panspermia includes the discovery of amino acids and other organic molecules in meteorites, as well as extremophiles, organisms that can survive extreme conditions, such as those found in space. However, while panspermia provides an intriguing possibility, it shifts the question of the origin of life to another location rather than answering how life began in the first place. Formation of protocells. Regardless of where the building blocks of life originated, a crucial step in the development of life on Earth was the formation of protocells. Protocells are simple, membrane-bound structures that are thought to have been the precursors to modern cells. These early structures could have formed spontaneously from fatty acids or lipids, which naturally self-assemble into bilayers similar to the cell membranes found in all living organisms today. Protocells would have provided a contained environment where RNA and other molecules could interact more efficiently, increasing the chances of complex chemical reactions occurring. Over time, protocells with more efficient RNA replication or metabolic processes would have been favored by natural selection, eventually leading to the evolution of more complex, self-sustaining cells. The transition to cellular life. The transition from protocells to fully functioning cells marks the emergence of life as we know it. The first true cells were likely simple prokaryotic cells, similar to modern bacteria. These cells would have had a basic metabolism, allowing them to harness energy from their environment and reproduce. The development of cellular life set the stage for the diversification of life on Earth. Through processes such as horizontal gene transfer, mutation, and natural selection, these early cells diversified into a wide range of forms, eventually giving rise to the complex web of life that includes all known species. The evolution of photosynthesis and oxygenation of the atmosphere. One of the most significant developments in early cellular life was the evolution of photosynthesis, a process that allows organisms to convert sunlight into chemical energy. The earliest photosynthetic organisms likely used light to drive the synthesis of organic molecules without producing oxygen. However, the evolution of oxygenic photosynthesis, the ability to split water molecules and release oxygen as a byproduct, had a profound impact on Earth's atmosphere and the development of life. Oxygenic photosynthesis is believed to have evolved in cyanobacteria, a group of bacteria that still exists today. The oxygen produced by these organisms gradually accumulated in the atmosphere, leading to the Great Oxidation Event around 2.4 billion years ago. This increase in atmospheric oxygen allowed for the evolution of aerobic, oxygen-using organisms and set the stage for the development of more complex life forms, including multicellular organisms. The emergence of eukaryotic cells. The next major step in the evolution of life was the emergence of eukaryotic cells, which are characterized by having a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotic cells are much larger and more complex than prokaryotic cells, and they are the building blocks of all multicellular organisms, including plants, animals, and fungi. The origin of eukaryotic cells is thought to have involved a process known as endosymbiosis, in which a larger prokaryotic cell engulfed smaller prokaryotes, which then became symbiotic partners. For example, mitochondria, the energy-producing organelles in eukaryotic cells, are believed to have originated from an ancient symbiotic relationship between a primitive eukaryote and a proteobacterium. Similarly, chloroplasts, the photosynthetic organelles in plants and algae, are thought to have evolved from cyanobacteria that were engulfed by early eukaryotic cells. The Cambrian explosion and the diversification of life. After the emergence of eukaryotic cells, life on Earth continued to evolve and diversify. One of the most dramatic events in the history of life was the Cambrian explosion, which occurred around 540 million years ago. During this relatively short period, many major groups of animals first appeared in the fossil record, marking the beginning of complex multicellular life. The Cambrian explosion led to the evolution of a wide variety of body plans and the establishment of most of the major animal phyla that exist today. This period of rapid diversification was likely driven by a combination of factors, including changes in the environment, the evolution of new developmental mechanisms, and increased interactions between species. The origin of life on Earth remains one of the greatest scientific mysteries, with many questions still unanswered. While various hypotheses provide plausible explanations for how life might have begun, The exact sequence of events and the specific conditions that led to the emergence of life are still the subject of ongoing research. What is clear, however, is that life on Earth is the result of a complex interplay of chemical and physical processes, shaped by the planet's unique environment and the laws of nature. From the formation of simple organic molecules to the evolution of complex multicellular organisms, the story of life is a testament to the incredible potential for complexity and diversity inherent in the natural world.
Well, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to hit the like button.